Simmering again from Heck Yeah, You Can Cook. And today we're going to make what this is absolutely positively not a recipe, it's a technique, it's a style. I call it my kicked up mac and cheese, dirty mac and cheese, whatever you want to call it. We just have fun with it. I cook it once a week. Kind of the ingredients that are available that you can find. You can substitute things all in and out for this. This is something that's fun to make. I make it about every week. It stores really well. You can have it for lunches later on. I'm not going to show you a whole lot of prep. We've got right here, we've got 1 whole red onion chopped, 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. I usually don't do onions and garlic together, but for this dish I do. I will show you this technique. This is half moons, what I call it a squash and zucchini. You slice the zucchini in half. You just come down like this type of thickness, because this is going to cook for a while. And you make it these half moons. All right. I add that to that dish. I've taken some of the sweet bell peppers, little bitty ones here. I've taken those and I've chopped them up right here. You're going to have some spinach that's set aside. This goes in later in the dish. Just kind of take off the ends and leave the most of the leaves. I do not cut the leaves on this. I just take the stems off, just sit it back down on the paper towel, and you can add it to the dish in a little bit. Shiitake mushrooms, to be honest with you, I don't slice these. I just pull these out. They will shrink as they cook. I love shiitake mushrooms, but I do not cut them. It's about 12 ounces of them. Here we got a pint of cherry tomatoes, oregano, basil, Sazon seasoning. You can use sausage, you can use ground beef, you can use whatever you like in this. I just use a vegetarian, so this is actually the way I'm doing a vegetarian dish, but you can put meat in here if you'd like to. Olive oil, all right? I've got my elbows. You can use any type of pasta you like. This happens to be gluten-free. You can use spirals. You can use spaghetti. You can use linguine. Whatever you like. As you see later on on this demonstration, you're adding this in. You need 1 egg for a little later on. I've got 2 pounds, not 2, but 1 pound, 16 ounces of shredded cheese. You can shred it yourself. I'm not going to say I did it for this video. All right. You're going to need a large mixing bowl, and you're going to need a large baking dish. All right. I'm going to get these things sautéed in a large frying pan. We'll show you the technique in just a second. I'm not wrapping. The technique in just a minute. So once again, basil, oregano, Sazon Tropical, the orange version. We'll be back in just a second, everybody. All right, everybody, we're over here stove side. We're starting to boil, okay? I'm not going to show you how to boil water. That would be insulting. You're going to heat your pan, all right, on the large setting. I've got a double burners. And you're going to heat it about between 2 and 3 is where I put it. You don't want to get it too hot. We're going to preheat our oven to 350. Bake 350 for mine. That's a 2-button thing. All right, right now we got the water boiling. A little secret I learned a long time ago. Cover it with a lid, it starts boiling quicker. Get your pasta ready and out of the way. We're going to have this pasta and it's going to boil. It says here on the magic box for 6 minutes. You want it to firm level. So while that's going on, we're heating. So go ahead and get that boiling so it's out of the way and finish and let the steam dry. Right now we're going to be heating up in this pan all the things that we prepared earlier. We're going to take some olive oil, 1,000, 1,000 done, right there in the middle of the pan. Now I've got a new wok that I use for this, so if you have a wok, you can do it with this as well. Circle that around just for a second. Once again, this is all about what you got, what's available. You can make this pasta dish with just about anything. Tomatoes go in just like they are. Don't sit there. We're going to let these things burst. I think it adds a little color and a little flavor to it. In goes the peppers. In goes the garlic and the onion. I want to get that started. And like I said, set your between 3, maybe go between 3 and 4. And what we're going to do is just let that be able to cook, marinate, and get itself moving a little bit. We got the pasta going here. Make sure you stir it. will get sticky, because especially if you use the gluten-free. And folks, may I suggest, you don't have to do this, but your stock pot should be this big. It's really hard to boil anything or cook anything in a stock pot that's half that size. Spend the extra money to get this. So now we've got this started. Get that cooking in there. And now you're going to add some basil and some oregano. Notice the lack of scientific here. I just kind of go until I see with the oregano I've got it covered. Same thing with the basil. I gotta go until I see I've got it kind of covered. All right, we're gonna let that sit and cook. We're gonna let the pasta noodles finish, and we will come back in a minute and look at as we add more things to the dish. All right, everybody, we've gotten the pasta out. It's been about 5 or 6 minutes. Have you been stirring this? And I probably didn't mention it, so I'll put a thought bubble above. Make sure you kind of stir it while the pasta is cooking. So the pasta is now sitting, is draining and it's steam drying. You're going to let it dry out with its own steam. It's a very simple technique. You're going to keep working right here. You're going to allow this right now to just simmer down. While it's at that stage, we're going to add at that time the zucchini and squash and the mushrooms. All right. As you can see, this makes a very full pan. That's why I went to the bigger wok, but this still will cook down. And remember how we came with the basil and the seasoning before? Well, this time we're going to hit it with a little balsamic vinaigrette. Just a touch of balsamic vinaigrette. And once again, some more oregano. Just to feel across the top. And some more basil. Sorry for all of you out there that want the exact measurements. It's kind of a feel. You kind of know what you got there. Also this time, add a couple pinches of salt. Yeah, I think this will just take 1 pinch. We're going to let that cover. Now we've got this thing is simmered about 3 or 4 more minutes. You've got a lid nearby. You've got this. You're going to add now, if you made sausage, whatever you made, I'm going to add now, okay, the plant-based ground beef, which makes this a vegetarian dish. Now you're going to spread this out right here. There's a trick right now. We're going to add seasoning. This is where I put in my Sazon Tropical. This is a very good seasoning for dishes like this. And I come on kind of heavy with it. It's a great spice blend from the Badia section of the grocery store. International section. Look for it. And look for the orange. They have 2 different ones. One's orange and one's green. This one's Sazon Tropical orange one. So make sure you get that one. Does a very nice job. We're not moving that right there. It stays. Okay? It stays. We're going to add now. I have to go over here to get it and come back. Horrible cinematography. I am sorry. We're going to add now the spinach on top of that. Kind of push it down. The spinach will wilt into it. And at this point in time, we come on with our lid. We're going to go down. 3 is the magic number, which is where we've been at. We're going to go down to between 2 and low. And now this is where you let this work for a little bit. I always set a timer for about 8 minutes. Just let it simmer. Let the spices and the flavoring work into the ground meatless product. If you've got sausage, whatever, it'll add flavor too. This is a patient dish, so just give it some time. Right now you can let it sit and let it just work its magic. Okay everybody, it's been about 7 minutes or 8 minutes here, so we're going to turn our timer off. And I've noticed it started to cook onto the top here. you're starting to get that nice, with these hot lids, folks, never set them down on the counter or on a glass stove top. That could be a disaster. We're gonna take our spoon now, okay? And if you see something go flying, it's okay. It's a smaller pan. Some of you may have a smaller pan, but my wife suggested I do it in this thing. There's no problem with anything getting spilled. We'll just have to pick it up. Start to work the spinach in a little bit more. And if you could smell this, you'd be quite ecstatic. Once again, this is one of those dishes that takes some time. So you're going to stir. You're going to bring the spinach back in. We're going to let this simmer some more. Now we're going to turn it up. We've got it started, so we're going to go to about just below between 3 and 4 there. Your stove may vary. Put the lid back on. Keep an eye on it. Every 2 or 3 minutes, keep stirring it, and we'll come check in just a minute. As you can see, this continues to cook now, stirring frequently. While we're stirring and thinking about this, everyone, this is a great time. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, share, like, leave a comment. I opened that up. I didn't know how to do that before. Let us know what you think, what recipes you would like to see. Like I said, this is more about technique than it is about an actual recipe with this one. It's just a good old kicked up. This one is a vegetarian dish and gluten-free by the choice, but something you make. You can use sausage with this, anything else that you like. We're getting this where the spinach is nice as wilted now. Tomatoes are starting to pop, and the longer you can let this cook, the better it's going to be. So we're going to let this steam out some more, and we're going to show you how to mix it all together to put in the oven, and that'll be here in the next segment. You can continue to cook this down. I usually cook until the cherry tomatoes start to pop. You don't have to go that long. Once you feel like this is heated through, we can go ahead to the mixing stage. Like I said, this dish is up to you. All right, guys, we are back. We've turned this off. It's simmering good. The tomatoes have burst. You can push down if you need to get them a little extra started. Depends on how long. The longer you can let this simmer, the better the flavors. We've been going at it for about 15 or 20 minutes now. This is not a quick dish by any stretch of the imagination. Now I've got my largest mixing bowl here, and we're going to add to that right now 1 egg. When I'm feeling real adventurous, I put in an avocado and mash it up. Got the cheese right here. We're going to add about half of the cheese. And then we are going to add just a little bit more, if you'd like, of the Sazon seasoning. Tonight I'm not going to. I think I was a little heavy-handed, but you can add some more seasoning here if you'd like. If not, we're just going to, at this point, bring in the meat mixture as you see. Now, whether this is vegetarian as this one is, or you had added ground sausage or ground beef or ground chicken or whatever flavor you'd like, you stir that in right here. Then we add the noodles that we allow to dry. Once again, this can be any noodles. It does not have to be macaroni. You're going to take it, spread the macaroni out, and start stirring from the bottom. Very important that you bring it all the way up from the bottom. You're going to bring the cheese through with that egg until it's dirty. Dirty macaroni and cheese. This was just vegetarian. You can make it with anything you like, so. I like about this is you can make a whole bunch of people happy. It's a one dish meal. You can serve it with a salad if you'd like. It's got lots of fresh vegetables, and you can change it. It doesn't have to be the same. As you saw, this is more about a technique. You can make it different every single week. Worked it very well through with my nice wooden spoon. As you can see, that's what it looks like. Now, we're going to add it to my baking dish. Now, if you've got one of these, this is a good old wedding gift from 29 years ago. Yes, I am that old, and yes, I've been married that long, and that woman deserves a medal. We're going to pour that in right here. Make sure you have a baking dish that's real large. I like this one for any type of pasta. As you see, we got lots of happy accidents going on. A clean kitchen is an unused kitchen. All right. Bob Ross was a hero of mine when I was in college. We're gonna spread that out. All right, all those flavors, that dirty macaroni and cheese. All right, this is dirty vegetarian. All right, now here comes a nice little secret. Remember, we got our preheated oven to 350 degrees. We are gonna add the rest of that shredded cheese. The cheese today I'm using is the mac and cheese blend from one of the local grocery stores. It can be any cheese you like. I have used Mexican blends, I have used straight cheddar, I have used straight mozzarella, I've used Colombia on this. I've been making this dish now for probably the better part of 20 years. And so it's very interesting to have different types of cheeses. In the oven it goes. And we're going to set our timer for 8-9 minutes. I usually set it for 8. If the cheese isn't quite done at that point, then you come back and you add it in there a little bit more. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay, everybody, we got 19 seconds. While we got those 18 seconds to go here, please everyone like, share, and subscribe, and spread the word about Heck Yeah You Can Cook. If you want a recipe, heckyeahyoucancook@gmail.com. We'll shoot it to you. Like I said, that will be a recipe for this, more of a technique. But I want you to see the finished product here. There goes the oven. Let's turn the oven off and let's turn the timer off. And what we've got here is a dish that will serve a lot of people. All right. And it's been a family favorite for 20 years or so. This is my dirty macaroni and cheese. You can make it any way you want. Sometimes I just call it pasta bake. And that's what it looks like when it comes out. Let that cool for, how's that song go? Long time from REM. Side Winter Sleeps Tonight. That's for all you 60s babies like myself that grew up with REM. We enjoy this dish. I hope you did too. It's a technique. It's not really a recipe. Hope you enjoyed the technique. And heck yeah, you can cook. And look for the, if you have any questions about anything that I did in the video, please email me at heckyeahyoucancook@gmail.com. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.